We are live.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Metal Truthers this evening of February 13th, 2018. I'm Wraith here with Brandon. It's been a minute. We're where I am at the moment. So, this is kind of a test run with this new program. Shout out to Chris Geo from Truth Frequency Radio for telling Brandon about this program. Seems like we may have a small echo.
No, I was checking the live stream on my phone to make sure it was streaming through, but we're good to go.
Oh, okay.
Sounds
We're
good.
good though. Cool. So, probably shout out to Chris Geo and the Truth Frequency Radio crew for, up and comers like us, get some better stuff for us to use. And, yeah, so it's February 13th, man. Fucking barely 2 months in. It's me and Nicole's 3-year anniversary today.
Damn. It does not seem like it's been that long.
Yep. We're not going to be able to celebrate till Thursday, but,
It is what it is.
And as of January 20th, it's been a year since Trump's inauguration, and my son was officially a year old. So, I've been kind of busy, still a full-time dad. So, as far as things go, that's why and the internet where I live is such shit. Like, me and you have talked about it. This is for everyone, by the way, just so y'all know. Like, we're going to go over the changes with the channel, what's been going on, the lack of why we haven't been putting out as much lately. And then by the end of today, hopefully, me and him will have a pretty good plan on where we intend to be within the next few months as far as, content production and things like that go. But as we said, we're using a new program now, so that's going to be somewhat different for us. We've never quite used this before, so this is on its own.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the program seems to be working pretty good.
Are we streaming to Facebook and YouTube right now?
No, just YouTube right now.
Okay, okay. But yeah, so here's the idea, people. Me and Brandon have talked a lot about it. We will still be covering into like geopolitical events as they're relevant. As far as journalism goes, right now, neither one of us really have the time to be digging into stuff the way we used to. And with me not having a computer anymore, that limits my ability to get on Reddit forums and things like that like I used to. So
Yeah.
For now, we're mainly going to pick apart just the shit that's fucking with everyone's everyday life, the shit that's endangering everyone's futures. You can call it leftist, whatever you want to call it. I mean, you can put whatever label you intend to put on it, but I'm going to call it the potential extinction of mankind if things keep heading the way they're going.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're just going to spend our time talking about what we find relevant from this point on. And yes, there will still be news in there when major things come apart and we feel like, just like with Las Vegas and shit like that, and the Bundy Ranch, anytime something major is going on and we see that the media is bullshitting and that the powers that shouldn't be have their hands, in the Play-Doh again, per se, we're going to talk about it. But it's other than that, we're just going to talk about the shit that's, we find relevant and we find just utterly fucking retarded. So,
which is a lot of things nowadays.
As far as the channel goes, that's what y'all have to look forward to from YouTube or from Metal Truthers for right now. We are looking to go into different directions. I mean, at some point we probably will go back to the more journalistic, professional approach we've been trying to for so long to get to, but get, me a computer set up again and then things like that. I feel like it's not like we're not basically giving up on the Metal Truthers platform or idea or anything what Metal Truthers has been or will be. We're just going to make sure that y'all have some content and, it's not a bunch of regurgitated content, stuff we've talked about a million times, though it could be relevant still and is still relevant. There's other things that are going on that require just as much attention. Being said, Brandon, is there anything you would like to say before we kick this off, and then I will let you take us into the first topic, sir?
I don't really have anything.
Okay, so I guess take us into our first topic of the night then, sir.
Alright. The Tide Pod Challenge. Are you people fucking serious?
Which challenge?
Tide Pod.
Broke up there for a second.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. The fucking Tide Pod Challenge. Are you people serious?
Okay, yeah. Let's there's been some interesting things that have come out of this Tide Pod thing that have blown my mind. Number one, as of I don't know how long ago, probably at least a week or so now, locked up behind glass containers now, and they require ID to get them. Age limit and identification required to buy laundry detergent.
Because the human race has gone full retard.
No, because, well, okay, so me and you have talked about this. I'm going to go ahead and put this out there, and, I'm going to say this, all right? We were all dumb kids at one point in our life, right? We've all been there. We've done that. We've done dumb shit, teenagers and angsty. And we've all, as a collective, done crazy shit, right? I mean, we all have been there, but I'm going to state this for the record. Personal observation and opinion. I do not believe that any of these challenges we've seen over the past few years are spawning from any angsty fucking teenagers, man. I believe there's some sort of adults out there. Now, granted, I will say there's a negative and a positive to this because, see, the Tide Pod, yes, it's killing people. The collective IQ of the country or of the world in general is going to rise.
I don't know, dude. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, I
mean, overall, these challenges had to have been created by some fucked up adults is the main part I'm getting at. But at the same time, I didn't say anything about these challenges too bad because if these kids are dumb enough IQ wise to ignore a blatant hazard warning on a package that says do not consume, I guess let nature take its course and before the collective IQ of the world to rise as these people decline themselves through natural selection.
I mean, really, that's all you really can do.
You can call me unempathetic or whatnot, but also, I mean, this spawns to its shit like, where the fuck are the parents? What are the parents doing? Their kids are eating Tide Pods. Like, where the fuck are y'all while your kids are eating Tide Pods? Y'all want to be all outraged by it and shit. Well, what's happening? See, my kids don't have the luxury of eating Tide Pods. Do you want to know why? Because I'm up their asses 24 fucking 7.
Well, see, a lot
to eat a Tide Pod without me knowing that they ate a Tide Pod. A lot of assholes are blaming these challenges all on dumb kids, which, number one, I find that to be asinine on its own, as I've stated just a minute ago. They're dumb kids. This is not something that spawned from a bunch of angsty kids with nothing better to do. This didn't spawn from a bunch of Call of Duty playing jack-offs that are talking about fucking your mother every weekend. This came from some sort of malicious ass adult. Just like the fucking Blue Whale challenge. Just like this challenge you were telling me about the other day. These things are coming from some adults. Kids don't do this kind of shit without some sort of guidance. Fuck, I don't know how else to explain it.
No, they don't. I mean, I do not believe they're. Okay, I'm gonna take that back. I'm sure there probably is some kid out there that's stupid enough to, think of it as an original idea. But the majority of the time is, kids aren't just gonna sit around and think, hey, let's put laundry detergent in our mouths, or let's go down the street and just start pulling a gun on random people.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to say they haven't thought of it, and I'm not going to say they never will, but the majority of the time, it's not the kids thinking of it.
But it is kids that want to do it, because right now the popular thing is being a Vine.
Yeah.
Now the thing to be is an Instagram or YouTube star. That's just what's popular.
Right.
And while we're all complaining about that, but we can, and well, not necessarily, it's not while we're complaining. It's like we're all complaining about this stuff. We're not doing anything about the social medias that are causing it.
No, we're
Step
not.
back and going, okay, how come the kids, when we were growing up in the 90s, were still outside playing with our lives? And how come we weren't wrapped into our cell phones? See, that's why I have a problem with them saying millennials 1980 and up, because in all reality, those of us that were born at the end of the 80s and growing up throughout the mid 90s, we weren't all this like narcissistic, self-absorbed. We still hung out with friends outside. In fact, most of our time was spent playing at a park or playing outside somewhere.
Right.
Video game systems had come out and computers were there, but because of the type of internet we had, you were staying at home 24/7, logged on to the games and shit like that. Your parents didn't fucking allow that shit. They forced you to get out of the house.
Exactly. Which, hell, they didn't have to force me to get out of the house. I never wanted to stay inside unless it was just pouring down rain, damn near flooding.
I don't even think our generation, like, I believe that there is a gap between the kids born in the, like, late 80s or basically from the 80s to maybe 92 or 93. Basically, anybody under, like, 25, I would consider a millennial. Anybody over the age of 25, I believe they're kind of in their own generation's category at this point, because I'm just now about to be 30 in June. I'm considered a millennial, but I don't fucking like these pricks. I don't agree with anything they're trying to, a bunch of free shit, but nobody wants to work for it. I mean, I don't support any of that. I believe you should have to bust your ass to get everything you get. If you want extra, then work harder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's as simple as fucking that, and yet we're catering to this fucking mental disease that's taking over the world. Fucking, this is what happens when you tell your kids they're special all the time.
This is what happens when everybody gets a trophy.
It's what happens when you tell their kids they're unique flowers. You're not a unique flower. There's fucking 5 billion flowers on the face of this planet. 6 billion, 7 billion, who the fuck knows at this point? There's several billion flowers on this planet. You really think you're the most unique one out there? Fuck yourself. I mean, seriously, like, I let my kids know I love them, and yes, they're special to me, but I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna have them with this retarded mentality that they're, perfect in some way, or that they have anything better than anyone else. Fuck that, man. You're human. You're a parasite. I'm a parasite. Your friends are parasites. Get used to it.
Pretty much.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. I can't cater to these people. I can't cater to the SJWs. I can't cater to the people that are so weak they're offended by a word and it hurts their feelings to the point where they physically can't function because they heard a word. God damn, what's wrong with y'all, man? Like, I've never heard of this kind of weakness before in my life up until this fucking past few years, and it's progressively getting worse.
Yeah, man, I don't. God. Like, what
I mean,
is.
granted, none of us really like Trump. None of us really like any of the past few political dictators we've had.
No, not really. But, Jesus Christ, we're not going out and burning cop cars and, looting businesses and shit because of it.
I mean, I like how people try to compare how people complained about Obama. Well, mainly people complained about the shit he was doing, but you didn't see a bunch of neighborhoods getting torched to the ground and fucking in vagina suits, fucking up little kids and shit, you know, run around and fucking dressed up like goddamn Raggedy Ann dolls and shit just for your
Yeah.
personal amusement under like by the people who didn't like Obama.
And
I mean, just saying.
these people cannot really think that this is going to do any good.
Nor can y'all really legitimately think that adding pedophiles to the group of LGBTQ. Hey, go to the room. See, I don't cater to my children. They ate dinner, they ate pizza, they are fine. They don't need any more. She's not hungry. She's bullshitting me. I know my daughter all too well. Some people that would hear that would be like, oh, that's abuse. His child said she's hungry, and he said, no, go back to the room. No, fuck you. You don't know anything about my kids. And suck a fat dick, you feminist cocksuckers. I'm so sick and tired of all this bullshit. It's infuriating me to the point where, like, you've got little boys out there that are running around saying they're ashamed to be male and they're ashamed to be white and they're ashamed of this, they're ashamed of that. Man, shouldn't nobody be ashamed to be anything? If you're a fat motherfucker, wear that shit with pride. You ate yourself to that level. Feel good about it, I guess. If you feel comfortable, blob, then
Trust me, I
fucking,
do.
fucking be proud of that shit. Wear that blob like you're the fucking fat kid from the Goonies and play with your fucking second vagina all day. I don't give a damn. But, like, if you're skinny as fuck like me and you're proud of it, fucking embrace that shit. Who the fuck cares, man? Like, I'm tired of all these people talking about, well, because society doesn't accept this, we need special treatment.
No, you
No,
don't.
you need a fucking gym membership and probably less estrogen in your system. Like, fucking, oh no. An oversaturation of hormones is what's happened to you, you dumb bastards. I mean, because I'm sorry, there are no real men anymore. Ain't nobody out there willing to do shit. Ain't no men willing to get down and fight like they used to. When shit gets out of hand, either people want to reach for a pistol nowadays or they want to go cry to the fucking cops or cry to their fucking local mayor. Oh, I'm being discriminated against.
Now the fuck you're
Why? Because I got punched in the mouth for being stupid.
not.
Like, dude, it's just fucking. I don't even know. I don't feel like I should even exist in the same generation. Like, I don't know what fucking generation I belong with, but I sure as fucking this one. Because I mean, I meet people even close to my age, and 98% of them, I like, for the most part, fucking hate them. They're stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
I goddamn have no ambition. Like, the most ambitious thing they figure out is how to roll a creative joint. Like, fucking, come on, man. I mean, like, let's be real. I smoke weed. A lot of people smoke weed. There's nothing wrong with smoking some weed. But goddamn, if that's all you can do with your life and you can't, like, you have no other, like, skill other than being able to roll a joint and play some Call of Duty, you need to reassess your fucking shit, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
We might have to change this show to Stoner Truthers. I don't know, man. Like, cause find some real shit. Like, 9 out of 10 episodes I have to smoke during the episode so I don't get fucking infuriated and have another goddamn stroke. In fact, I'm almost willing to bet that this channel back in the day is what led to part of my stroke in the beginning.
Probably.
Like, not even bullshitting. Because I got so heated over this shit and I was like, y'all just don't have any idea. When we would do episodes, I would stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning fucking listening to shit and researching for the next episodes and shit. And then I would motherfucking have to go to work. You know? I would stay up till like, we'd do an episode till like 10 o'clock at night, and then I'd stay up till like midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, just listening to shit. My fiance was all pissed off because I wouldn't stop listening to conspiracy theories instead of like just going to sleep.
I'm pretty sure this show
Like,
is part of the reason my boss left me.
yeah, I mean, like, we legitimately dedicated a lot of fucking time and effort to this shit. And I legitimately got heated about the shit that was going on because back then, Obama was making a lot of more ballsy moves than Trump is. See, the fucking thing about Trump, and this is why I don't trust this little fucking orange bastard, is because he's doing everything behind the scenes so goddamn shady. And the difference is to Obama talked to us like we're a bunch of retarded children. Trump talks to us like we're a bunch of semi-intelligent children. I mean, we're still being talked to like we're children. It's just this Trump's more of the kind of like parent that would make you somehow convince you that the tooth fairy is actually leaving you money under your pillow. Whereas Obama was the kind of like parent that like, because you're looking at the government as a parent in this metaphor. Obama was more or less the guy that would like tell you that the tooth fairy was leaving the money under your pillow, even though you had caught him with video evidence putting money under your pillow.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, now the goddamn motherfucker is intelligent though. Like, I'm never taking that away from Obama. He was a crafty fucking snake in the grass. I'll tell you what, that motherfucker was intelligent, but again, the parody still remains.
Absolutely. I mean, he was a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not saying that I fucking think that Trump's the Antichrist like a lot of fucking retards, but I will say I think Trump has nothing good to offer this country.
I don't know. I mean,
Once again, and I think anybody that thinks differently is just refusing to fucking see it. It's not that I'm anti-Trump and pro. I'm not a fucking Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not for feminism. I'm not for SJW-ness. None of the reasons I don't like Trump have anything to do with any of the bullshit that's going on right now. My problems with him spawned from his allegiance to the Pope, with the Jesuit order, and his allegiance to Israel. Those are my fucking problems with him. If you don't like it, suck a fat dick, you Nazi bastards. Now, how did that sound? Did you like that? I bet you didn't. I'm not saying all Trump supporters are Nazis. I'm just saying y'all want to fucking act like a bunch of Nazis. I'm gonna call it out like that. That's what Nazis do, okay, people? That's why nobody likes the super Trumpaholics and nobody likes the people that are super anti-Trump because you're all acting like a bunch of fucking Nazis. You're trying to control the media. You're trying to control what people think. You don't like anyone that doesn't agree with you. You're a goddamn Nazi. Suck it up. Go build a concentration camp, you brain dead motherfucker.
My thing is,
Then maybe you can actually get rid of us.
my thing is you know, this Antifa shit claims to be anti-fascist, but they're the ones out saying we need to censor freedom of speech, we need to take away firearms.
Are they even relevant anymore?
I don't really think so.
Going some real shit. Is Antifa even relevant anymore?
I don't really.
I haven't heard about them since like 2017.
I still hear about them quite a bit.
Yeah, I never hear about them motherfuckers anymore.
You don't really get online much.
I'm online every day. I just don't get on Facebook much anymore because I'm fucking cutting that cancer out of my life slowly but surely. I mean, like, I'm on there to talk to the club, and I'm on there to, like, keep in contact with you and a few other people that, like, I need Facebook to contact until, like, I get a legitimate phone again, and then I, like, with service on it, and then I can give you all my phone numbers, and I can tell Facebook to go shove it up its bum.
Yeah,
because I'm serious. Here in the next couple, like, here within the next year, dude, I mean, unless, like, Jackie sets up a fucking Facebook for one of my kids, in which I will have to fucking keep my Facebook because I will monitor theirs like a goddamn hawk. I mean, like, unless that happens, I'm probably gonna like delete Facebook pretty soon here, like from my phone and from my life, because it's a fucking cancer. And I don't really just don't. Huh?
It's starting to get that way.
I mean, for real, dude. Like, all forms of social media are. I don't fucking have a Twitter. Like, if people want to talk to me, I will give you a fucking phone number to call me. I've got an app right now that allows me to call and text people. I've got a technical phone number, which remind me after the show to give that to you, Brandon, because I totally forgot I have a technical phone number now. But yeah, like, in all reality, like, fucking, I mean, there are ways to get in touch with people. There are ways to communicate. There are ways to be human outside of fucking Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, you faggots. I probably just got us in trouble with that.
Yeah,
we just got our video flagged. Son of a bitch. But y'all know what I mean. I ain't referring to nobody gay as a faggot. Whether or not you love the dick or not, or you love the JJ. I'm just specifying the word faggot. Faggot is universal with me. I will call a straight dude a faggot. I will call a gay dude a faggot. I will call a baby a faggot if it pisses me off enough.
Same with me.
Anybody that knows me will tell you when my daughter is acting like a cunt, she is told, stop being a cunt.
That's pretty harsh.
We can be in public, and my son can start throwing a tantrum in front of God and everybody. I will sit there and be like, would you stop being a fucking titty? Like, that is how we do it around here. I'm real with my kids. There's no point in babying them because they're not babies anymore. What do you want, baby girl? No, you ate pizza. Y'all just ate a lot of pizza. You don't need anything else. You're trying to avoid bedtime. Go play, because it's almost bedtime. Love you. Yep. I'm not Mama. Get in there and close the door. Close the door. Sorry about that. She's a brat sometimes. I'll tell her to do something. Yeah, you're Mama. I am not. The fuck kind of insane shit. Just so everybody is clarified, I do not self-identify as the Mama. I am not the Mama.
I would really hope not.
I am literally not the Mama. I am the Dada. I am Dada, not the Mama. That's a reference to dinosaurs for anyone who's been alive long enough to remember that TV show.
Me personally, I self-identify as a white trash piece of American shit.
You, sir, are part of the problem. You need to change your outlook on yourself.
Why?
You ain't white trash, and you ain't an American piece of shit. You want to know what an American piece of shit is? Motherfucker living off the taxpayers' dollars, getting government assistance, claiming they don't want to fucking work. Yet, claiming that they care so much about all these causes in the rest of the world. They care about feminism, they care about this, they care about that, and yet they watch these commercials and these situations where there's starving kids and trafficked in like sexual trafficking shit all over the world, and they don't lift a goddamn finger. Typical American piece of shit. And a lot of us fall into that fucking category, let me tell you.
Oh, speaking of which,
because it don't bother us.
What about all these feminists?
All these what?
All these fucking feminists.
Fuck them. No, literally, fuck them. Maybe they'll calm down. Somebody needs to do something. They need to get them some pussy. They need to get them some dick. They need to get them asexual fucking rocks off. I don't care how they do it, but goddamn, do something, you angsty bitches.
My thing is how are you going to protest oppression in the United States when there is literally countries that throw homosexuals off roofs and kill them? And
wait, what does that have to do with feminism? That has nothing to do with feminism.
No, it don't. I'm getting to that though. And what I was
I'm not.
Is like we have countries literally out there where women are raped.
You got an echo.
Oh shit, we got a pretty bad echo. What the hell? Hold on just a second. Let me try to fix this.
I think it's...
Alright, is that better?
You went all robot-y for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck just happened.
It was a gremlin.
Yeah, that was weird. But,
not as weird as the shit that used to happen to us when we were in Spring Branch.
Jesus Christ, I know.
That's when I first started this channel, pretty much.
But no, the whole feminist thing, I mean, I actually got deleted by a woman on Facebook the other day because she said that no matter what, the man should have no say in whether the woman has an abortion or not.
If my sperm went in there to create the baby, then I have every right to say, like, especially if, like, I want to be an actual dad and keep it. Now, we can have a talk about it, and if you're not ready and I understand that you're not, then, I mean, I'm not going to tell you can if it's you want to go through the pain of childbirth and shit, but I should at least be included in the conversation. Fuck yourself. You're not a real woman. You're nothing but a worthless piece of shit that should never have gotten in a relationship, never had a dick inside you to begin with. And you know what? If somebody nuts in you and you get pregnant and you're that kind of narcissistic piece of cunt trash, well, the board should mandate that you have to keep the child. How's that sound?
I completely agree.
Like, cunt trash shit. That's not about whether or not that's not pro-life or pro-choice argument. That's, I want to keep fucking partying. My body is a sexual temple, and if it gets the least bit of stretch marks, guys won't be fucking me every day and buy me everything I want. Therefore, my gold-digging ass ways, I'm going to go have an abortion. Case closed. Get the fuck out of my courtroom. Feminism in a nutshell.
Pretty much. But, you know, they're the ones out there protesting oppression and all this bullshit. How about you go to Saudi Arabia?
What fucking oppression do women have in America, dude? The court systems are fucking geared towards y'all. I've gone into places where the only reason the chicks there got paid as much as they did was because they looked fucking good. gone to places where women are allowed to speak their voices, where men have to be silent or else they will get swarmed on by a bunch of angsty bitches and they can't fight back because if they do, the semi-beta retards in the crowd are gonna fucking jump on that man for swinging on an angsty bitch that thinks she's a man. Christ, man, this is the only kind of country where this bullshit happens and that women are allowed to get away from it. I dare you to go to a third world country and try to pop up with a pussy hat parade. You either will be gunned down, you'll be stoned to death, or you're gonna be gang raped by a bunch of people that got tired of fucking their goats.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus Christ, man. That seems offensive to people in the Middle East. I didn't mean to say they all fuck their goats, only a select few of them.
When we talk about people fucking goats, we're mainly just referring to ISIS.
Do they even still exist? I thought we killed them.
No, they're still there. They're just pretty much irrelevant.
Well, damn it, Putin, what are you doing now? The fuck? Oh, damn, man. What, now that Trump's in office, you're just backing off and shit? You was knocking them the fuck out when Obama was there. You was making us look bad as a country. Now you're all slacking. Get back on there, mister. I colluded in your elections. That bullshit that will never fucking die. God damn, man. If Russia really wanted to collude in our elections, I'm pretty sure we would be fucking... we'd have some dude named Vladimir Smirnov as our president right now, not fucking Donald Trump.
Yeah, if Russia had anything at all to do with it, like, they would be teaching mandatory Russian in school in place of English classes.
Or Chinese, just depending. Because Russia, if Russia had fucking meddled in this, they would have meddled in it probably in China's favor since China owns most of our country anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome to the United States of China, everybody. Where they still speak American.
Speaking of China, there is something I wanted to point out. Sometime into March, China is planning on dropping the U.S. petrodollar and using their own currency.
Well, that's going to piss us off. Don't be surprised if China accidentally detonates a nuke on itself.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We might accidentally find some weapons of mass destruction in, like, their embassy or something, you know? It never seems to work out in anyone else's favors. And though China is a powerhouse nation, I'm just going by, like, the history so far of the petrodollar as a whole. Like, not used the petrodollar has usually, like, become a dictator, had their government overthrown, and then now there's Walmart. Just saying.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty legit.
Welcome to New Iraq, 53rd territory of the United States. Let me tell you something about it. For real, people. The United States doesn't just go to war, we expand our borders. We just do it in a way that most people don't quite grasp. Because they can't call it Walmart over there, because people over there don't speak English, you slapnut retard motherfuckers. The corporations don't go by the same goddamn names. All you have to do is go look at these major corporations that are U.S.-owned corporations, and then go look at their overseas counterparts, and you will find out just how far America's borders really go.
Yup.
Thank you, and have a good day. I'm going to try and argue this in the comments, and to them, all I have to say is, good day to you, sir. Go back to Walmart. Go buy some more Tide Pods. assuming you're old enough to pass their ID inspection. I hear you vaping.
Yes, I am.
While you hit your devil smoke.
If my job didn't drug test, you bet your ass I would.
Hit your devil smoke, sir. Said nothing about my God's lettuce. I said something about your devil smoke.
Hey, that devil smoke almost helped you quit smoking.
It did. And I couldn't afford like an actual vape kick. And nobody has the money to like buy me one and mail it to me. Yeah. I'm back to cancer. I cancer every day.
Yeah, lung cancer is awesome.
Battling cancer is awesome, I agree. But yeah, so I mean, goddamn, man, there's so much shit that's been going on in 2018. Since the beginning of this year, it's just we've gone.
It's fucking depressing.
I thought 2017 was fucking bad, but 2018 has been.
2018 is.
We're not even.
Goddamn, dude.
I mean, we aren't even legitimately into 2018 yet, really. Like, come on, people, can't y'all just something? I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless at this point
Can we please do
on what's
something
going
to
on.
just grow a fucking brain?
We can delete Facebook.
Yeah, that would get rid of the that would get rid of the challenges, hopefully.
We can start executing people who make retarded memes. That's a little authoritarian, isn't it?
Maybe just a hair.
See? That's why I couldn't rule like a country and shit. Like a very sticky road to walk down. Like, do you be authoritarian to progress the human species, or do you allow mental retardation to cause the human species to go extinct?
Well, I mean, at the moment, fucking Jesus Christ. If you say something about mental retardation, or that's oppression now.
Well, no, it's only oppression if you call somebody a retard. Like, I'm no longer allowed to see a kid with like the wheelchair and the helmet, the jewels on himself, and you're not allowed to go, ha, fucking retard. You can't do that anymore. That's oppression towards that retard.
Yeah, that's totally oppression, I guess. If you want to.
That's oppression of mine. Like, I find SJWs to be oppressive. Because I was born a dick, I will die a dick, and y'all are really oppressing my like natural me. I feel like I'm being discriminated against. Words that I used to use all the time and shit. My Facebook posts blocked and stuff. Now I'm just saying, since I've started my Facebook profile like years ago, it has been firmly established that I am a fucking dick and I do not give a damn what anyone thinks about me. Since we started this YouTube channel, firmly, very clearly stated that I do not give a fuck what anyone thinks of me. And if you don't like me, you can go take your attitude and your opinion and shove them both up your bum bum. I mean, I feel like I'm being oppressed. Because now I can't be a dick to everybody. That causes an internal struggle within myself. I mean, it causes spiritual me to be nice to everyone I meet. It causes a soul. It takes a little piece of myself and kills it every day. I should have a violin. Like, I should just record my own commercial. I have like a little sad violin playing in the background, like while I explain like how SJWs have ruined my life by making me be nice to people. Having Mr. Burns syndrome. The nicer I am, the faster I die. But Brandon, how long have we known each other? A rough estimate here. 8, 9 years?
Something like that, yeah. Sounds about right.
Okay. And in that amount of time, and a dick.
Do what now?
I said, in the amount of time we've known each other, have I ever not been a dick?
No.
I mean, as a matter of fact, I think if I recall correctly, one of our first few interactions with each other, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, fat ass?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I'm almost positive that was like one of our first 3 interactions with each other. I mean, I don't think I've ever fronted with anybody and pretended like I was nice.
I know I haven't.
So, I mean, the question I've been having lately too is like with all these challenges that are coming out and everything, like we're seeing it all over the news, right? We're seeing all of this shit, but why is nobody like is there no like address at the actual parenting? Like everyone's saying, "Oh, well, you should watch your children and watch what did this and make sure that you have a talk with them about." No, why don't we have a talk about like why the parents have just given up on their fucking jobs and why parents have to work so much that they have no time to focus on their kids. So, I mean, okay, let's get even further into it because the parents are having to work so much now to where they don't have time to be at home attention to what their kids are doing, then why are the schools and these daycares and these public institutions that the government basically forced us to have take care of our kids while we work to support our kids to be taught this kind of stuff? I mean,
You know, I can honestly relate to that because I work third shift 6 days a week and I sleep during the day. I have no time
yeah.
for hardly shit. Like, I'm doing this show right now. I had to wake up early to do this show, and I'm going to be miserable as fuck at work tonight.
Goddamn right you are, sir. But that's the price you have to pay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we've talked about it. We've actually had a discussion on whether or not we were going to kill this channel off a couple of times now.
We have had that discussion.
And we both came to the mutual decision that we put a lot of time and effort into this, and we enjoy doing it. The payoff's not worth a fuck. I mean, we barely have any subscribers. We barely get any views. Paid for it, but you know what? I mean, still, fuck it. Our opinions are out there, and maybe 100 years from now, when everyone will still be alive, we might have our voices out there, and somebody from the future will watch our videos and go, you know, those 2 motherfuckers were kind of. Now, granted, we're probably wrong about a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, we've never claimed to be brilliant. I've never claimed to have all the answers. I just like to put those together. See, Brandon's going to bring us more topics of like what we're talking about tonight, and we're just going to discuss our general disgust shit. But I'm still going to keep looking into the bigger pieces of the puzzle and trying to put shit together when I find relevant pieces to the puzzle. Anything come out from Dabu lately that like has actually intrigued me to the point where I can go, well, that's something I haven't like heard of yet. That's something I haven't already known about. So far, the reason I haven't been covering the news as of what, almost a year now, is because the reality is, I've already told y'all what was going to happen. All y'all have to do is go back and watch our past episodes, and you will hear me talk about exactly what the fuck is happening right fucking now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't have to go and talk about new news stuff. Everything that Dabu's talking about, I told y'all this shit was coming. It's bothering me. None of it surprises me because I told y'all like 3 fucking years ago this shit was coming. But did anyone want to listen to Mitch? No. Conspiracy theorist. He's nobody. Well, can still be a nobody and be good at putting together pieces of a puzzle. And if you're really good at puzzles, it was very easy to figure out how this shit was going to play out. I mean, fucking cunts.
The thing is,
Actually, like, that's why I haven't put out as much effort anymore, dude. Because, I mean, in all honesty, Brendan, 10, have I not already predicted everything you've seen in the news over the past pretty much, let's say, 9 months? Already talked about what's going on exactly fucking within the past year.
yeah.
Like, other than fucking Las Vegas, which was kind of something that we even told y'all shit something was gonna, but
Yeah, I
like,
mean, we
you
basically
know,
it.
I mean, so it's to the point now where like I'm not even gonna talk anymore. I'm not gonna give you all the pieces to the puzzle anymore. I tried to put the puzzle together, and none of y'all wanted to pay attention. Later on, when shit's really getting bad and people start searching YouTube for this kind of info again, we'll really get hardcore back into it because we'll start seeing the subscribers and the view count that go with the effort we were putting in to bringing the people together, listening to different people. Because a lot of people think it was just like they'd say, "Oh, well, all you did was listen to Alex Jones and Dabu and rate the same things they were saying." Oh, fuck no! I didn't just listen to those people. Things. I went and read a lot of different articles. I went and put a lot of different pieces together. And then I waited to talk about it until I had more of a big picture.
Right.
I mean,
We put a lot into everything we talk about.
how much time and effort we put into doing this kind of shit at the moment. You want to know why these past few episodes have sucked? If you want to say that they weren't that great, they're not like our old content, you want to know why? Because we haven't taken the time and we haven't had the momentum like we did back in the day. We haven't seen like at least like had a couple of views every now and then, a couple of like shares here and there, would be nice. Maybe one subscriber a month would be nice. It would give us the urge to keep this going, but we don't get that kind of shit. And we've been doing this for fucking well over 3 years. We started this YouTube channel per se. Overall, though, we've been working on this stuff for 4 or 5 years now. Man, we're not the greatest. We're not going to be fucking the kind of people that we don't want to be like, we don't want to be big like Alex Jones and Kev Baker. If we can at least get up to like 200 people, and then those 200 people were subscribers, and it gave us a little bit of monetization so that we could do better stuff, we'd be happy as a motherfucker.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't do the kind of shit anymore until I can get and then afford to pay for like good internet. I'm out of the loop. Brandon's the guy that has to do everything and leaves the ingenuity of the channel up to him, and he's more new with it. Before, I was the one who pretty much ran everything.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to take over my job, and like you'd only had like a few crash courses in it back in the very beginning when we were recording off phones.
Yeah, those were the days. I'd be sitting at work when I worked as a security guard in the guard shack. and we'd just record the
For
episodes on our
real.
phones right there. I mean, we always had
Yeah, and then just upload the audio with the fucking picture. I mean, like I said, we've been doing this shit from the ground up. We started this with a bullshit nothing platform, basically. We didn't have a computer we were running it through. We did it with 2 broke ass cell phones and some Wi Fi. To bring y'all, a talk about things to get people to open up their minds and start thinking outside the box. And, from there, it's seeing the progress. Hey, start cleaning toys off the bed, kiddos. It's bedtime. It's been an hour. You can watch TV still. Bedtime, okay, Damien? Y'all can sleep with a stuffed animal if you want. Find one stuffed animal. Rolo, you can have whatever you want up there. One toy, one stuffed animal, bed. Understand? Clean off all the toys. Excuse me, everybody. As you see, my job never stops.
Well, see, that right there is just quality parenting. You're not having to
I
scream
mean, I
and
could
raise
mute
hell
that
at them.
out and shit, but right now, I don't really feel like having to like pay attention. With my luck, I'd forget I'd mute it and shit, like minor interruption as I ask my kids to. It's 8:30. They need to be, I let them watch TV till about 9, then they go to sleep. They got to start working on it. But as far as what's going on with the world right now, I mean, we're seeing a big trend. Mental retardation. All right, get in the bed.
We want gummies.
Nope, we don't have any more. Get in the bed. There are no more. Get up there in the bed. Go to sleep.
I think they're at Johnson.
There are no more, Luna Carroll. Stop arguing with me. Trust me, Daddy knows what he's talking about. Go to sleep.
Mom just said he told them.
Just go to bed. Stop asking questions and go to bed. Good night.
You gotta love the kids.
I know, right? They're at the age now where they think they have the ability to just because they learned how to ask questions does not mean that they have to.
And they know that. They just do it to
I mean,
do it.
Yeah. When you've already given them the answer. For some reason, my kids think that after you've given them an answer, if it's not the exact answer they wanted, they seem to think that if they ask it about 115 more times, the answer will magically change.
I think it works the same way with social justice warriors too.
Oh yeah, did you see that video I shared earlier about that one chick that threw a huge fucking a tantrum like my son throws because she was getting arrested?
No, I didn't. What happened?
There's some chick that I guess her mommy and daddy told her she was too special when she was a kid or something. Arrested, right? And I mean, it's because she didn't pay her bond or whatever. And she's fucking throwing a fit, screaming, crying, talking about, I want my daddy. She's a grown ass woman. And throws herself on the ground. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I can say that my 4-year-old doesn't throw tantrums that bad.
Really?
Because I beat those tantrums out of him at a young age. But I did spank him. I don't tolerate that shit. I am a firm believer that you have to spank your children when they're acting up, because if not, You can't, there's a time and a place to be a friend and a parent. I think you need to be a parent till about the age of 17. Then you can be a friend,
Yes.
you know? Like, I don't think the friendship thing, like, yeah, I mean, to certain aspects, yes, you can be a somewhat friend, but like actually being their friend versus like their parent kind of shit, they're about ready to spread their wings, you know? Once they want to be their own person, then you become more of the friend. And when they need you to be the parent, you can step back up and be the parent. But up until it gets to the point where they're ready to spread their wings and leave the nest and go be their individual person, it's our job as parents to be parents, period, not friends.
Right.
Parent at the same time. That's not how life works.
And see, if more people stuck to that these days, I think we would have less of the social justice warrior idiots and, these people out burning cop cars and looting businesses and shit, and more people, actually stepping up and trying to make a change.
And that man is like, the idea is that the parents gave up. That I mean, we can blame it on the kids all we want, but the kids were taught by some, well, technically weren't taught by somebody. There's a lack of authority figures
Right.
telling these kids, hey, this is right, that's wrong, or hey, this, or you shouldn't do that. There's a lack of anyone pointing the kids in any sort of direction. When there's a lack of somebody pointing at these children in any sort of direction, well, then you end up with what we've got right now, a bunch of fucking self-entitled, narcissistic punks that are ruining their lives. They're going to ruin the economies and the countries of everywhere I mean, that's the only way to describe it.
On top of that, they're entitled. They think the world owes them a living just for existing.
Well, that's why I said narcissistic. It covers entitled and a genre of other things as well. I mean, narcissism is basically the act of entitlement. I mean, that's covered in the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder. I mean, these kids really are not, it's just they're blatant narcissists. At some point, there's been taught a disconnect within these younger generations where they're not taught to care about anything but themselves. To an extent, I'm an example of that because, like, as far outside of my kids, I really don't take other people's feelings into consideration. Like, I don't care about other people. I care about my children. Everyone else is kind of irrelevant because nothing to do with my daily functions. You feel me? Like,
Well,
it's not a point of whether or not I like somebody. It's not a point of whether or not I'm their friends or not. It's that their existence has no general effect on me and my children. And if it does, whether that be a positive or negative, is going to depend on whether or not they're allowed to embrace my presence, you know?
right.
I mean, I don't look at anything with any kind of blinders outside of the fact that I have two children that I have to take care of. Two or not is beyond the point. Now, I love taking care of my kids, but should I have chosen that, like, that's irrelevant. We don't have that option. Once you become a parent, what you enjoy, what you think, what you feel, it becomes irrelevant. Your life is about your children. Your goals should be on your children, nothing other than your children. Just that's it. Like, your future should be about their future. And most of the people we see now, they're still worried about like, oh, well, I want a PS4. Fuck that, my baby needs diapers tomorrow. I've got just enough to buy this PS4.
So that's a big problem within the community, or hell, society as a whole.
Well, it starts in the households, though. See, that's the thing. You have to start off small and then work your way up. It has to start at home. Then from home, you can spread to the community. You spread to the city, spread to the state. From the state, you spread to the federal government. From the federal governments or whatever government you have from your government, then it spreads to just a basic standing.
Right.
I mean, if anything, I'm more of an anarchist than anything now. Like, I really don't believe that we need government to regulate the people. If you can't live with other people peacefully and coexist without somebody with a badge and a gun telling you what the fuck to do and keeping you in fear of being put in a cage, then you don't society. You should probably be executed. No offense. Call me harsh if you want, but in a civilized society without somebody pointing a gun at you, then you should be off.
I
Really
completely
unstable
agree
and
with
you're
that.
not a benefit to society, therefore die and get it over with. I'm not saying the retarded or the disabled should be killed. I'm saying they can be taken care of by the community. See, that's where the whole community aspect comes into play. You feel me?
Yes.
You don't have to have big government for that. You just have to have decent people, and that seems to be what we're lacking.
Yeah, but because of that lack of decent people, we now have a government that forces us to
But see, our government doesn't even force us to be decent people. That's the fucked up part. Our governments are the reason we have so much crime and shit like that. I mean, in all reality, it's our governments that create these economic, the people. They're the ones who set up the classes. They put the drugs into the communities. They put the illegal weapons into the communities. They make sure that the civilians get a hold of this shit. Stuff that
oh
gets
yeah.
people addicted is out there for the people. They make sure that certain diseases are spread amongst the what they consider the regular population. And from there, that's when the game books are, it's all history from there. And that's what I'm saying when I say I like to put the pieces of the puzzle together. I'm not just looking at like actions or one bill that was passed way back here, way back then. From an overall perspective, from like doing to you. You feel me? Like it ain't about like what happened last year. It ain't what happened 100 years ago. This shit's been going on since Rome. You just have to know how to read history.
It's I mean, it's literally just history repeating itself. It's just repeating itself in a different way because we have more technology now.
Well, so we think. I mean, how do we know they didn't have technology that was similar, if not rivaled, our own that we have today? They only tell us what they want us to know. There is nothing that's been invented that is not like, all right, you've heard the phrase, there's nothing new on the face of this planet. Everything's been done before.
Yeah.
The technology as well. After all, you did say there is nothing new on this planet. Everything's been done before. If that's the case, then that would imply that technology has been done before.
Yeah.
And in all reality, who the fuck are we to say that they were all primitive back then? They had to have had technology. Just go look at half of these fucking monuments, these megaliths that were built. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, thousands of megaliths are skyscrapers and are giant statues of today, that kind of shit. But go look at the ancient world. They've got shit just as intricate and 10 times as big. Now, didn't have technology that rivaled ours.
They probably did.
I
And
mean,
I also believe that's what led to their downfall, time and time again.
I think what led to the downfall is exactly what's happening right now within our societies. It's just people turned against their neighbors. Once neighbors can't trust their own neighbors, that's when, once the communities have been ripped apart, your society's doomed to fail. You can't have a functioning civilization that could even adequately defend itself against a foreign invader, let alone a domestic uprising, if nobody, the person next door to them. Now, does that make more sense with what you're seeing today?
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, you have to look at it from a perspective of how do you crush an empire? Well, the easiest way to crush an empire is from within, correct? Well, what's the easiest way to crush an empire from within? Billions of people. Easy. Turn the neighbors on each other, have the people within the empire kill themselves, kill each other, on each other, man. It's just as simple as that.
Antifa.
And unfortunately, I'd hate to say it, but I think this may be human nature. I may think this may be our grand design flaw that keeps us from ever achieving what we would consider godhood or divine in our own inspirations, because we have the power and the ability to become divine by all means. The only reason we can't is because we keep prematurely self-destructing due to our own nature. We like once societies fall apart, these grand societies with these grand technologies close to godhood, does it not seem strange that this always happens at certain points? And I mean, you can see it historically, you can see it in documentations. I mean, most of these civilizations that we see collapse are extremely sophisticated and large and as close to godhood as I think humans are about to get. And then somehow, like, switch that flips on inside the human brain. And the next thing you know, we're offing each other at record numbers.
And that's pretty much the point we're at now.
I mean, in all reality, man, I'm not trying to like get people doom and gloom porned or anything like that. This is my observation, studying human history the way I have, because I find the human brain to be a very strange and complex thing to begin with.
Oh yeah,
Being
absolutely.
that I'm unempathetic, which means I don't let emotions rule my life because I'm so disconnected. I don't have very many emotions. It makes me easier to put things together, but it also makes it harder for me to understand the normal person, or even I guess you could say the average, when these people are about things like my brain cannot comprehend what's going on with them because I cannot empathize with them. You feel me? Because since emotions don't register with me in my daily life, I understand somebody who's acting purely based on an emotional context.
I think we need to move, like as a whole nation, we need to move away from the emotional thing, which is honestly what I believe
Well,
has
see, the
been.
problem is we're only looking at, but see, well, here's the thing, Brandon. It's not, we can't just address Americans right now because this is a problem that's happening worldwide. I mean, there almost every civilized culture on the face of the planet right now, we're seeing this shit spawn up everywhere, dude. This isn't just an American problem anymore.
Well, no,
This is
I'm
a
not saying it
viral problem
is.
to say, but like, I mean, but like when we say as a nation, we're literally. I just want to put that out there to some of our other viewers, you know, because you've seen before in the analytics, we get viewed in places like Belgium and shit. So I'm kind of like, we're kind of addressing them too because these same problems are popping up in there. You know, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
wide issue that we're trying to address in the best way we know how. And yes, of course, we are saying as a nation, yeah, America definitely needs to wake up. And out of time, I mean, the rest of the world looks at us, and for many, many years, we can't deny it. America has been one of the nations that the world's always looked up to, and kind of we were the example. What America did, followed suit with, you
Right.
know?
Um, but
And
no, I think what we're talking about now is the reason that we have left-wing politics in the state that it's in. You know, they're
well, I think left wing politics is in the state it's in because it failed itself, man. It failed itself. I mean, the left wing allowed itself to become too radicalized too fast, and that they caused themselves to fail. That's the way I'm looking at it. The left wing actually, I mean, in the beginning, let's be real on something. I mean, we should be able to openly admit this. When the left first started, their politics were actually kind of relevant. You could understand why the left was upset about certain things. They were semi-relevant to the world. The left wing was taken over at some point. The right wing was. See, both of these groups used to be organic groups, and then they were taken over by who, what, when, where, and how. No one fucking knows.
Well, of course.
At some point, taken over. Let's just be real about that, you know?
You know, George Washington, up on the founding of this country, warned us against political parties. You know, he warned against left and right wing politics. You know, George
The
Washington.
left versus right paradigm is an issue that we also have to acknowledge is a real issue. There's a lot of people out there that to ignore it and pretend like it's a non-existent issue, and the left versus right is a real issue, especially in America. We have a big problem with people trying to choose a side. Really, no one knows which side of the coin they fucking stand on. Let's be real. Like, people jumping through hoops and none of them know. I don't think any of them even know what a coin looks like, to be honest. We're talking about a bunch of people jumping through hoops, and they ain't never seen a goddamn coin in their life. They're just flipping a piece of dung around and tails.
And I mean, you've got these groups of people. You got the left screaming at the right, calling the right wing fascist, and you got the right wing screaming at the left, calling them communist.